Strauss & Company is pleased to offer another single artist sale, this time devoted to the art of JH Pierneef, and we call this sale Insights. Now, prospective buyers can of course gain insight into looking and analyzing his artwork, but they're also advised to read about his art. And that is why we offer a number of booklots devoted to the art of JH Pierneef. The first one I want to mention was published in 1945. It is a monograph by J. Grosskopf. Grosskopf was of course a good friend for a good 30 years of Pierneef's life, and he promoted Pierneef. He introduced him to many big collectors, and of course arranged various exhibitions for him. This follows in the wake of many other monographs of South African artists published at the same time, notably in 1942 on Irma Stern, and that was done by Joseph Sachs, Irma Stern and the Spirit of Africa. And in 1944, Johannes Meintjes published a monograph on the work of Maggie Laubscher. What is important about Grosskopf's book is that he speaks about the so-called aesthetic equilibrium in the art of Pierneef, referring to his complex compositions and also the mastery of his brushstrokes. The next important publication, 1974, by Professor Nieland at the University of Pretoria, a groundbreaking work. He brought together most of the lino cuts that Pierneef pulled in his lifetime. Meticulously documented, still a classic reference work, and every Pierneef collector should have this book in his or her collection. This book was updated in 2014 by Gerard de Kamper and Chris de Klerk. This one is titled Pierneef in Print. The two of them added no fewer than 34 new lino cuts, as well as 13 etchings and 6 aquatints. So great update of many previously unknown images, prints of Pierneef. In 1990, another seminal work was published by Pierre Nel, a professor of culture at the University of Pretoria, and he looks at the cultural history of Pierneef's time. He invokes the architecture of the time, Pierneef's interest in domestic architecture. He looks at the literary scene in South Africa, notably Afrikaans poets and writers, and Pierneef, of course, designed many images for the cover of the anthologies or for illustrations in magazines such as Huisgenoot and the like. A very important, a very useful book if you want to gain insight into Pierneef's life and the manner in which his life, of course, impacted on his art. A very important publication in 1992 by Nick Coetzee, professor at UNISA. He was commissioned by the Johannesburg Art Gallery to do research on the Johannesburg station panels. At that stage, those 28 panels were briefly housed at the Johannesburg Art Gallery. They afterwards were, of course, moved to Graaff-Reinet, where they were exhibited at the Rupert Museum, and today they are on permanent loan at the Rupert Museum in Stellenbosch. What is important about this book is the meticulous research Coetzee did about the manner in which Pierneef crisscrossed the country doing research, doing many sketches of the various dramatic scenes that he wanted to use in his 28 panels. In 2015, I curated a retrospective exhibition at the Standard Bank Gallery in Johannesburg, and this is the catalogue that accompanied that exhibition. One of the things that I want to point out about all the books is that many of them are published in very limited edition. This particular catalogue, for example, only 200 copies were ever published, and of course they were snapped up during the run of the exhibition. What I added to the Pierneef debate is the manner in which a new generation of contemporary South African artists actually used Pierneef as a springboard for their own creative and often postmodernist interpretation of his work. The latest publication is this tribute to Pierneef, published by the La Motte wine estate outside Franschhoek. And this is important because not only does this book illustrate all those wonderful station panels, it also includes a core collection that La Motte obtained from Pierneef's daughter, Marita Bailey. Those are mainly early works of Pierneef's, and for only that reason, it is very important that you do get hold of this copy as well.